And greetings. Welcome to the Nifty Show, a very special episode number 200. Joel Comm here, along with Lord Travis Wright. Trav, 200 episodes.
Dude, that's amazing. And I think out of these last 100, I think I've been on like maybe 4 or 5 or so. The one and only, your son, the one and
Riles.
only.
Yeah, Riles
Riles.
is often my co-host now, but great to have you here for this one today because the subject is something that we have talked about since the beginning of the show. We've always said that a great way to onboard people into NFTs and digital collectibles is through entertainment. And one of the industries that can be disrupted are streaming services, where rather than just paying for a subscription to your Netflix or Amazon Prime, you could actually take ownership and get connection in a community for a program. And
yeah, it's a really good use case, right? We've talked about it a lot. Like, imagine even if going back in time and saying, "Hey, we want to NFTify Seinfeld, right? And I want to get an NFT of the Soup Nazi, right? There's only 100 of them, and like, imagine magical moments and being utilized as NFTs, or imagine streaming memberships as NFTs, or badges from watching certain shows and earning NFTs that you couldn't earn anywhere else. There's a lot of potential things, Joel, that you can do with NFTs and entertainment.
And you just said the key word right there, entertainment. That is the name of the company, not entertainment, entertainment, like minting.
Like, damn, you need a mint. Your breath be like, ooh.
Entertainmint.com. We have with us the CEO and one of the co-founders, Genevieve Thiers. Welcome to the Nifty Show.
Hi, Joel. Hi, Travis. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely glad to have you here. And I actually remember discovering this project months ago when you guys first announced it, because I got my radar up. I'm watching for projects like this, that they're not just a PFP, right? NFTs should bring utility. And so talk a little bit briefly about your background in the industry, entertainment industry, and how you came up with this idea, and what is it?
Yeah, we're actually a team out of Web 2. I'm still surprised I'm back in tech, honestly, because our first company did very well. It worked. We're retrained in Web 3, but our initial company 20 years ago brought childcare into Web 2. We built sittercity.com, which we actually ended up raising over 56 million, over 70 million with venture debt at the end. We served 10 million users, thousands of companies, and sold to Bright Horizons in 2020. So we've run the whole gamut actually already in Web 2 of teaching users en masse how to use a new system, to find something. Before it was applying the Match.com model to caregiving, but now we're building out a collaborative storytelling platform on the ETH chain. And this is based off of the fact that a lot of us are creators. After Sitter City, I sort of started working in movies. I was part of a show that we landed the pilot of on Amazon Prime, and I was working, as a very small investor with a Bill Macy run movie, and I just began to realize, wow, there's a big mess over here too. And so my team, which was kind of eager to chomp into a new problem, we retrained in Web3 and started looking at what collaborative storytelling can do for NFTs and entertainment in general. And that's where Entertainmint, MINT.com came from.
That's awesome. Being able to go through that, having success before, that's always a key indication or an indicator of maybe potential future success with a new project. So if you are, looking to invest or looking to check out what projects are good, if somebody's done it before, they kind of have an idea on how to do things here. And so what you guys are doing now is to say, hey, you're not just another Netflix, or we're not in Netflix anymore. We're taking this to the next level. So maybe talk a little bit about what is entertainment. And what I really want to know is, are you going to have some swag that's entertainments that you can hand out for us? So for our breath?
we do have entertainment candy.
You just need to brand this right there, and I can just.
Yeah, that's good.
Yes,
are you
we
not
don't
entertained?
Good pun go over here.
That's good.
Now we actually have handed them out quite a bit recently. That's how we found the co-lead for our next round of 5 million. Actually, we handed her some entertainments, but no,
Was she offended?
we
Like, oh my God, is my breath bad? Like, no, it's not. It's great. It's great. But
no,
if you could
because
open
I
up that
went to
checkbook,
this
that'd make your
event.
breath better.
No, I went to this event in Chicago. People in Chicago are used to me. I have zero shame. I just show up, and like the minute I show up, like a blast of like free tchotchkes, enter the event, and
That's
I'll
good.
end up on every table and chair. And so there were mints everywhere, and Full Stack VC is they've been awesome. We've been talking to them about co-leading our next round, and they came up and were like, all right, tell me what you're doing. It's so obvious that we were there to talk to everyone. But yeah, no, I mean, I would say we've seen the same cycle before that, we just kind of went through with crypto. Like back when I was launching sittercity.com, you couldn't say .com. It was the middle of the .com crash. So for 4 years, I had to say Sitter City. And, it's funny, people have been asking us recently, why are you building in the downturn? We're not building in the downturn. We're just building after the initial house of cards collapses, which always happens, right? Everyone has the peak of irrational exuberance where they decide, the new technology is capable of everything and anything. And then, reality sets in. So our team has come along strategically building right now because we see a trend here that we think is the new black in entertainment. So I'm sure you guys are familiar with the amazing work of like Stoner Cats and the Gimmicks and Project Iceman and, Kayadita and all these wonderful projects that for 5 years now have been going out and raising their funding via NFTs or inviting fans into the writer's room using NFTs. That's for us what clicked very early was, oh, these are tickets. These are not infinite art, things that are going to, increase in value exponentially for the end of time. These are tickets, right? Tickets naturally have a secondary market. And so we began
These are access
to
points. Yeah. Digital asset access, essentially, right?
just digital access to clubs, groups, really. That's all they are. And so we saw that and thought, okay, there's a ticketing aspect here, but we also became interested early on in the use of NFTs for rights and royalties transfer, seeing that smart contracts are essentially execution style, mechanisms, right? We think that there's enormous potential for them as well to track IP and distribute rights and royalties across a chain of projects. And when you look at today's creator who is trying to move their work from 2D to 3D, right? Like you have a show, you're automatically looking, can it have an extension in the metaverse? Can it have a gaming AR side? That's what we see as being so valuable right now. We're a collaborative storytelling marketplace that's breaking the walls between fan and creator. And what we're doing is we're helping our creators sell fan engagement tickets into the making of their work, brand sponsorship tickets into the making of their work. This is just the beginning of our testing as well. We are integrating Regulation CF. We are aiming as well to offer full fractionalization and co-ownership by the fall of this year. But our platform is incredibly robust. Like we look like Netflix crashed into OpenSea, crashed into Kickstarter and Cameo right now in beta. We have this aspect of, we're a full streamer. We've already flipped our first show to Tubi. We've got a distribution hub, but beginning of our site, like the base level of our site is what's exciting, which is, we've got these shows which are basically saying, hey, buy this ticket and you can cast your NFT in the animated series of Frenchie Ballers. Your NFT can be the best friend or the henchman. You can dress them, you can name them. With this ticket, you can get a live pep talk from a wrestler on Catalyst Wrestling before they go out to fight in the ring. With this ticket, you're a picture on the wall of the haunted mansion of this show. You can put your art in a flip through of art in an opening sequence of this movie. So our tickets look like Cameo Plus. Like not only can you get a message from someone you love, you can be in the show with the creator, with the celebrity that you love. But what I think is interesting is the fact that we've got the back end so locked up, doing this Web 0.25 play. We're bringing people in en masse to do this, and they can use a credit card or an email. They don't need to have a wallet to play with our platform, right? And that's important too.
There's so much going on here, right? There's so many components to this, and to break it down, I see it in two primary parts, right? As a consumer, you have an opportunity to get tickets or buy a pass and engage. You get perks. You might be able to have, some say in the direction of the show. You might get some royalties if you're helping to launch a show. And the other part is, as a creator, if you've got a project idea you want to bring before the community, then you can do that and register your project, right? Those are the two sides of the coin, right? You've got the creators and then you've got the consumers, but the two, they have this mashup. What'd you say? Netflix meets Cameo meets what did you say it was? It was like four things.
Netflix meets OpenSea meets
OpenSea.
like Cameo Kickstarter. You know what I mean? Like that's the feel of it. And it's a bunch of things crashing together. I mean, we've got this whole revolution of using NFTs for access, but also rights and royalties. But we've also got this feeling now from fans and creators that they both want more. Creators are desperate to bypass the normal streaming system. It's a nightmare for them. They're thrown off their own shows. They're paid break-even rate. I mean, it's awful. And so they're desperate to cut out the middleman there. And fans, I think, are just tired. We don't want to be a set of eyeballs anymore. We want to be a super fan inside a show with our favorite celebs and creators. So I think we're positioned very well in our beta with our testing to kind of open up this marketplace, which I think people tried to open it up before. You had like Royal.io, like doing this with music, but they didn't really check with anyone. So they kind of blasted in and they did a lot of this, and the SEC took notice. And so we're just a little more careful. I think we're kind of easing into this going, all right, we know fans want to buy this ticket to get X. We know creators desperately want to go direct to fans. Now, how do we move off of that, into co-ownership and all the things that NFTs originally promised? It just needed to be built a little more carefully.
Yeah. And just in the news just this past week, I think Rihanna was at the Super Bowl, did the Super Bowl show, and then people were talking about a percentage of Rihanna's royalties for streaming for the Bitch Better Have My Money song that was with Kanye and Travis Scott and somebody else. So basically, it wasn't Rihanna. It was the producer who owned 1% of the streaming and put up 1% of his streaming royalties up for just a little percentage point, right? So basically, there was 300 NFTs. Everybody got 0.0033 or whatever. And OpenSea's already shut down that collection because they don't want it traded because potentially the SEC doesn't like that. So how is it that you guys have been going through and making sure, is this all just original content then? So since you own it, it's yours and nobody can tell, ain't nobody going to tell you nothing because you got your own. It's yours.
Well, our goal is to enable all creators to go direct to fans. So actually, we don't say this is our content. This is their content. But when they come to us, we will say to them, hey, here's a development grant in exchange for some equity, right? We're never going to be in the room helping you shoot the show. But, here's a development grant in exchange for some equity because we believe in you. That's only the first part of how we engage. Then once they come onto our platform, we retain on the back end, a certain percentage of fan engagement tickets sold and brand engagement tickets sold. When I say tickets, I mean NFTs, right? Utility NFTs. But we use very 2.0 language, right? I mean, these are tickets, right? So we retain, a certain amount of sales and resales, percentages on the back end there. And then if we help you take your show that you just created with us and flip it over to Tubi, for example, because we do distribution, we charge what Film Hub charges, 20% essentially of revenues from that. This is literally just the beginning, though, of what we can do. This does not take into account, for example, token gating, which a lot of our creators are asking for, and we're implementing in a few weeks. Live stream token gating as well is a big deal for a lot of our comedy creators. And then on top,
so is that kind of like is that like a Patreon type of a model where you have the token, but it's the creator token? You buy that to get access to certain content?
Yes. And, with Patreon, we've been seeing this desire of fans to be more, to do more. And I would say the convergence here of like a couple of trends, Patreon, Cameo, Kickstarter, co-ownership, it's all kind of crashing together in this beautiful wave that NFTs and blockchain is truly able to accommodate. You just have to do it carefully. So like you said, the SEC is sort of firing randomly right now. And we feel like we've successfully hid pretty well behind a bush, because what we did was we decided to start by simply selling fan engagement and brand engagement experiences. And that's safe. That's not a security. It's a fan collectible. Now, once we, got into the marketplace, we've seen how everyone's reacted. We did a bunch of studies, and, we could have used either Regulation A+ or Reg CF to go in and do actual fractionalization and co-ownership. We've decided to go with Reg CF, but we're watching, other tests go live first, so that when we do it, because it's quite expensive, we do it right. And I think our implementation of it is going to feel very accessible, like OpenSea, right? We're not going to treat this like, hey, special investor, we're not going to treat this in a Reg D way. We're just going to say to everyone, do you want to be part of Taika Waititi's next film? Do you want to be part of Jessica Chastain's next movie, right? That's the pitch, and that's an easy pitch to make. Who wouldn't want to do that? So you could either buy a fan engagement ticket in and not co-own, or very soon with us you'll be able to co-own and grow in value. By the way, I only mentioned those two as examples, but I wanted to get the point across. To be able to be inside a work is where fans have been trying to go forever, and I think our model is going to become steady state by 2025. This will surpass the other models, because with Patreon, you just get a slightly elevated experience. With us, you're in the film, you're in the game, you're in the work. And that's where everyone's been trying to get to. So I urge people not to underestimate this model. It's massive. It just has to be done quite carefully. We're on the Ethereum chain right now. We're testing carefully. Our creators can raise in just USDC and ETH right now,
Okay.
but we're moving very slowly, towards, being able to fractionalize, being able to do these interactive tickets with celebrity driven behind them. I'm excited to say, of the projects you see right now, we've already sold 15% of those tickets, and we have 12 weeks to go. We're right on track, and these are non-celebrity driven projects. So you just have to proceed a bit carefully when you build for this kind of model, and build from the basement upwards. Like, we want to handle the whole surge here, like from creation to streaming to distro, all of it, right? Everyone's trying to move from 2D to 3D. We've set up to go the whole pathway with them, but you have to set it up early. So when you see our site, you'll see that, we've got the ticketing set up, but we've also got follow functionality and community. And on the back end, by the way, our projects are linked. So if you come to us, you build a pilot, and then you build a series, and then you build a game, and then you do an NFT drop. All of that's tied to one original wallet. And you can actually just continue to do the cuts of the royalties project to project, but it can all feed back to the original wallet 4 generations back. That's important too. And I feel like we're setting up very early for what will be steady state come 2025.
Well, this is a great overview. I really appreciate Genevieve you coming in and sharing with us. Entertainmint.com is the site. You'll find links to it in the show notes, Nifty.Show /200. And I understand that you have something to entice people to join today. So tell us what action you would love for people to take.
Yes, thank you. Well, for everyone that comes to entertainmint.com and signs up, joins, in the next few days, we will, and if you follow 2 of our projects, just go to the project page and pick 2 of the 8 to follow, we will send you a free Neon Pass. That's good for a year of streaming. It's $36 value. Our streamer gate is coming down in about 3 weeks. So you'll want to grab that, because our content's fantastic. So that's our first offer, is free Neon Pass if you join and follow, right? And you can do that with an email. You don't even need a wallet. The second offer we have is that if you go through and buy a ticket, and our tickets are so much fun, you really should buy a ticket. You can go golfing with NFL star Bryce Butler. Or you can cast your NFT in and do voiceover for it in a show with NBA star Kendrick Perkins. Like, why would you not want to buy a ticket? If you buy one, we will match it with another surprise ticket of equal or greater value. So we're community building. You can tell, but there's incredible value to our tickets, and it's only getting better as we grow. And I think that's what the NFT world needs and what it's been missing for a little bit of time now.
Yeah, that's a great domain name. Where are you guys located at? Are you guys is the headquarters in like LA
Actually,
or one of the main traffic video hubs, or no?
Well, funnily enough, no. We're actually a Chicago team, although we're decentralized.
Chicago. Okay.
Yeah, we meet in the metaverse, though. We have a HQ in Decentraland, and I would say, I don't think this model can come out of LA. I think they're too used to studios.
Okay.
They're too used to their accounting firms. I think this model needs to come out of somewhere else, and we're somewhere else. It's a new day.
That's good.
Yeah.
You're over there flipping the script, literally.
Exactly. We are. My friend.
Perfect. Well, Genevieve, thank you again for coming on. Entertainmint.com is a site, and we appreciate you. And Sir Lord Travis, I appreciate you. 200 episodes of the Nifty.Show and going strong. And why don't you take us out of here?
It's kind of crazy, man. We're going on 700 episodes of Bad Crypto. We're getting there. And 200 episodes of the Nifty.Show. Boy, and then some of the other shows that didn't even have a number. We've done well over 1,000 podcasts since we started this train years and years ago. It's been a great joy working with you, and it's been a great joy continuing this movement moving forward, teaching people about digital assets. And I guess what we got to say at the end is keep it nifty.
Looking into the future, what do we see? It's lined with digital collectibles, we call them NFTs. Games, trading cards, digital art, and those crypto kitties. Joel and Riles are the hosts, you'll know. Joel and Riles say this won't blow. They're locked and loaded, so ready, set, go! It's the Nifty, really kind of spiffy. The Nifty Show.